my channel again. So yesterday we saw some theory about the Kumo twist. And then I just gave you some examples of how the Kumo twist happens. But those are historical examples. I, for one, don't believe in stocks that have run and then telling you, okay, this is what has happened, while missing out on stocks that didn't perform. So I thought since yesterday was October 1st and we would have had the monthly expiry on the 30th, I thought we could do some stocks for October and see how they perform in the coming months. This is purely for experimental purposes and not to trade on. This is just for everybody to watch. I do not know the fundamentals of these stocks, and these stocks are not picked to buy or sell. These stocks are just for watching how the cloud twist happens. And the cloud twist is not the only component that can give you a buy and sell. There needs to be certain confirmations after that. So this example is purely to see how the cloud twist happens and where we could look for entries purely theoretically and see how they perform in the coming days or weeks or months. So the first stock I have for you today is Yash Chemex. So in this stock, if you see, we are on the monthly chart. Uh, all uh, all stocks, whenever I pick stocks, they are on monthly charts. Very rarely do I go to daily or weekly charts to pick stocks. So in this case, if you see, we have a twist in the monthly Kumo cloud, giving us a bullish signal. So I will go down to my daily view, and if you see, in this case, price did move from 52 towards 98 and then pull back into the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen area and then cross over it. So this is still a bullish signal. Ideally, if anybody or if one wants to look at the chart, what I would do is wait for price to come and touch the cloud or at least the monthly Kijun-sen. If you think that the waiting is too long, I would wait for at least the weekly Kijun-sen and wait for price to come down to 75 rupees and then see how it performs and then take a trade if everything works well. So that is why most of my orders are always on GTT. There is no impulse buying. There is no like I saw a stock today and I want to buy today. No, I don't do that. So I wait whenever price pulls back to the Kijun-sen or the cloud, you can look at it. See, in this case, we could have looked at somewhere, we could have waited for price. If we are looking at the daily, the price clearly pulled into the below the Tenkan-sen, and once it pulls out, say around 91, for a swing, we could have traded this. But if you are looking for at it at from a long-term perspective, you have to wait for price to pull down to 75, and then you have to look at it. Okay, the next stock is PNB. Okay, let's look at PNB. PNB has clearly given a bullish twist some days back, and if you see on the monthly time frame, it went bullish. It came down to the Kijun-sen Tenkan-sen. It went above the Tenkan-sen Kijun-sen, so that would have been a good entry, but we still have the lagging span inside the cloud. So that is not the way to enter. We need our lagging span outside for momentum. So we have to wait for the momentum and then we would have bought it. In the daily time frame, if you see, price clearly went above the cloud, went to the cloud for support, went above the Tenkan-sen. The lagging span is out of the cloud. This looks bullish. So yeah, this is an example of how you take a trade. From monthly, you see your view and then you come down to the daily time frame. By the time price would have gone above the cloud, come back to the cloud, retested it, and then move away from the cloud, and that's where one can look for entries. So the next stock is Let's say IOLCP. Okay. See, again here. In this case, the twist hasn't even happened. In this case, price has crossed above the cloud. So we don't even know like what is going to happen, whether the twist will happen or not. But looking at this, the price has crossed above the cloud. Now, in this example, we have to wait for the Tenkan-sen Kitchen-sen crossover. They are at the same level, so we wait. So this stock would be ideally sitting in your watch list and looking for developments. But when we look at the daily time frame, you see price crossed above the cloud, went back near the cloud, went back below the Tenkan-sen, below the Kijun-sen, and took support from here, but it's still resisting at the Kijun-sen. So you wait for price to close above this, above the Tenkan-sen. The good thing here is the lagging span is looking up, but what I'm not comfortable here is if you see the cloud is starting to thin. So this is a watch list stop. And the next one is NBCC. Okay. So here you see in NBCC what has happened. NBCC price went above the cloud in the monthly time frame, when came down to retest the kitchen and then bounced back from the kitchen and then again retested the Tenkan-sen, and now it's bouncing off the Tenkan. Here the things to note are the cloud is starting to widen, so that is a good thing. The lagging span is looking up. That's another good thing. The Kijun-sen is pointing up and the Tenkan-sen is flat. So what we have to do, wait for a break of 128.6 or 130.36, sorry, 130.36, and then that would be a good place to look at it. On the daily time frame, if you see the same stock, see, the daily is green, but price is inside the cloud. As we said, this you have to wait and see what happens uh, when the price crosses above the cloud. We still wait because the lagging span is below the cloud. So yeah, that part of it we have to wait. So this stock we have to wait. And then let's look at Tata Consumer. See, on the monthly time frame, Tata Consumer has run up quite a bit. But we still see that the span A and span B are pointing upwards. It's slightly becoming narrower, but it's still pointing upwards in the monthly time frame. The Tenkan-sen is above the Kijun-sen. The lagging span is slightly too close for comfort. Like I could see Tata Consumer maybe consolidating a little. But on the daily time frame, if you see, Tata Consumer is clearly bullish. See, the span A is above span B. Price is going, the lagging span is pointing up. So, looks bullish to me. So, yeah, that is another way you can take entry. So, ideally, this could be a good entry. Again, this is purely for educational purposes. Do not take entries based on what we are looking at. Uh, but do track and see how these stocks perform in the coming days. There are a few other stocks, but those are like really tiny stocks. And if you want that list, I will put the list on the Telegram channel. You can have a look at it there, and you can you can track those and see how they perform. Because having said all that, I don't know fundamentals. I have zero knowledge on fundamentals. I have not looked at the fundamentals of any of these stocks. So please do your due diligence and do not invest based on this. This is purely for educational purposes. Okay, thank you.